we have already learned about right to equality and right to freedom. So let's learn about the other four rights, which are right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and right to constitutional remedies. This is right against exploitation. So this is very important right. Nobody can exploit another citizen of this country. So what does it say? Well, right against exploitation mentions that nobody can force children below 14 years to work. That is, they cannot practice child labor. It is illegal under the Constitution of India. So right against exploitation is a very important right in our country, which our Constitution ensures. So child labor is illegal according to Constitution of India, because we have a fundamental right, that is right against exploitation. So what does right against exploitation also ensure? Well, it ensures that human trafficking is illegal. So no one is permitted to buy or sell human beings. Every human being has freedom to choose what they want to do and how they want to live their lives. They cannot be forced to do something, or they cannot be bought or sold. Human beings are free individuals, and our country has given this right to every citizen. So human trafficking is illegal. Also, it ensures that underprivileged are not exploited. So exploiting the underprivileged is also illegal according to Constitution of India, because every citizen has right against exploitation. So even the underprivileged are the citizen of our country, and so they have the same rights as all of us. So they cannot be exploited. So no one can force people to work without payment or for very little payment. So just because they are underprivileged, poor or uneducated, people cannot force them to work without payment or for very little payment. Then comes right to freedom of religion. So India is a secular country. There are so many religious beliefs which are followed in our country. So many different people follow different religious beliefs, and they are free to do so, because all the citizens of the country have right to freedom of religion. So all these different religions together make up India. These define our country India, and we are all free to follow our religious beliefs. So citizens are free to follow any religion or to talk about their religion. We have this freedom. Nobody can force us to follow a different religious belief than what we want to follow. So that is what is right to freedom of religion. Next is cultural and educational rights. So every community has the right to preserve, protect, and develop its own culture. So all the different communities have this right to preserve, protect, and develop their own culture. That is the right given to us by our Constitution. That is cultural and educational rights. So how do we preserve, protect, and develop our own culture? Well, by practicing different activities which our culture encourages. So whether it is folk music, or maybe folk dance, or maybe some of our religious, or maybe some of our festivals and ceremonies. So we are free to conduct all these so that we can preserve our culture. And so all the different communities are free to do so. So this is not specific to any particular community or any particular culture. All the different communities and cultures which exist in our country have this right. So cultural and educational rights ensure that everybody is free to preserve, protect, and develop its own culture. So, cultural and educational rights also ensures that minority groups can have their own schools so that they have their own distinguished learning and they are not discriminated. So, interests of citizens belonging to minority groups, including their right to set up schools and colleges, are protected. So, minority groups are smaller groups, that is, people from a particular group which are very less in number in our country. And just because they are less in number doesn't mean that they cannot develop their education or they cannot enjoy the same rights as majority population. So, cultural and educational rights gives them the ability to develop their community through education. So, these rights are protected. So, cultural and educational rights is another important fundamental right in our country. Now, right to constitution remedies. What does that mean? Well, this is a very important fundamental right. So, while we know that all the different fundamental rights ensure us one or the other part of our lives, but what if any of these rights are violated? What do we do then? Whom do we go to? Well, our constitution also gives us the right to constitution remedies. What does that mean? Well, this right allows citizens to go to the court if any of the other fundamental rights are violated. So, for example, if your right to free speech is violated, if the government or any person is trying to stop you from expressing your views, what would you do? Well, you can go to the courts and the courts will decide whether your right to express your opinion is valid or not. And if it is valid, then you will be given protection, as well as the other person who is trying to stop you from expressing your views will be punished. So the courts make sure that all our fundamental rights are not violated. So if any one of them is violated, you can always go to the courts because you have the right to constitutional remedies. Now, there is a very important point which you should know. Fundamental rights cannot be exercised at all times. So, there are certain exceptional situations when fundamental rights are not available to citizens of India. So, fundamental rights can be temporarily suspended during a national emergency like a war, a major threat to public health, or any other crisis. And you know, there was such a situation in our country too. Well, in the year 1975, national emergency was declared in our country. That meant that all the fundamental rights no longer existed, at least temporarily. And this period lasted for 21 months. So for 21 months, due to internal conflicts in our country, there were no fundamental rights. And it was a very difficult period for the entire country. All the citizens were deprived of the fundamental rights, which is basic to human nature and a democracy. So you see, fundamental rights are very important. But when they were absent, people felt the importance of these rights all the more. So, what are the 6 fundamental rights which the Constitution of India ensures all the citizens of India? Well, right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and right to constitutional remedies. So, any of these rights are violated, you can always go to the courts, that is, right to constitutional remedies. So, these are the 6 fundamental rights which are provided to us by the Constitution of India.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You can also register for free at deltastep.com to get all learning resources as per ICSE, CBSE, IB, Cambridge, or any other curriculum. Over 5,000 amazing lectures across maths, science, English, and social science. Our unique interactive video technology keeps you engaged, and our iDictionary feature allows you to quickly revise any concept. Master each topic at your own pace with our adaptive practice technology and 1 million plus questions. Get instant answers and detailed solutions. Be exam ready by taking unlimited mock tests, performance analysis along with actionable feedback, personal tutors to resolve your slightest of doubts. That's not all. You also get amazing prizes like PlayStations, iPads, watches, and many more, along with certificates through our Earn As You Learn program. So at deltastep.com, learning is not just fun and easy, it's rewarding too. So register for free now.